Hello, this is David at Semper, and today I'm going to show you what pulse width modulation means on a scope. PWM, or pulse width modulation, is the percentage of time the LED is on versus the percentage of time that it's off. So 100% duty cycle is what this is showing. You see that blue line up above, that is 24 volts DC. So you'll see it looks fairly linear. That's pretty good DC right there. That would be 100% duty cycle. It's always on. Now a 50% duty cycle would mean that it's on half the time and off half the time. You would see that on the oscilloscope, and it would show on the light outputs. Now I have this voltmeter here, digital voltmeter. That is on the PWM controller. It's controlled using a 0 to 10 volt signal, DC voltage. So you'll see that I'm right around 10 volts. So that's at 100% duty cycle, which means it's putting out 100% light output. In essence, it's not being dimmed at all. Okay. This is 24 volts DC being fed through a pulse width modulation controller. Now there's a 0 to 10 volt control signal going into the PWM controller that will adjust the duty cycle. And the duty cycle is the percentage of time on versus off. What exactly does that mean? Well, this turns on several hundred times a second, on and off. Right now, it's constantly on because the input control voltage is at 10 volts. If we adjust the control voltage down to 5 volts, that's 1/2 of 10. Therefore, it should be on half the time, off half the time, thereby simulating dimming. This is what the waveform looks like with a 5 volt input to the 0 to 10 volt input. You'll see that the top line is on, the bottom line is 0, and that's showing one cycle. So for half the cycle it's on, and half the cycle it's off. And as we adjust the duty cycle lower, so if I go down to 3 volts, keep going down. Okay, so I will turn it now in a single counterclockwise rotation as far as the 0 to 10 volt input. Still receiving 24 volts in. Now back up. Okay. That's what pulse width modulation is. It's either on or it's off, and the percentage of time on versus off determines if it's dimmed or not dimmed, and what percentage of dimming.